transparent, accountable, and efficient for all stakeholders. The potentials of the sector are huge, to say the least. It provides us in every way possible a positive, disruptive technology that can affect lives of millions of people. It allows us to perform at the greatest productivity levels at potentially maximum utilization. And most importantly, it allows the remotest areas of our country and people living in those remotest areas to connect with the thought of inclusive growth. I have repeatedly said this, that if we want India to be an economic global powerhouse, if we want India to emerge as one of the principal countries in the world, that is not going to be possible unless each and every single Indian citizen participates in that thought, in that process, and in that growth paradigm. And it is this area, the area of ICT, the area of mobiles, the area of the internet, that will provide that opportunity to every single Indian. Today and in the age gone by, the only inequality that we have experienced is not that inequality which is between the rich and the poor, is not that inequality that is the difference between urban and rural, but single-mindedly is the inequality of information and inequality of opportunity. And this is that technology, ladies and gentlemen, that will bridge both those inequalities. The inequality of information and the inequality of opportunity. It doesn't matter whether you're living in a rural area in villages or living in Bombay or Delhi. You can present a business value proposition up in the cloud somewhere that will make sense to millions of customers and will be part of your client list and your portfolio list. This is the catalyst, this is the engine of growth that will allow entrepreneurism to spring from every single well of every 600,000 villages across the length and breadth of my country. Now that is the potential. But there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. How do we rise to that potential? We can only rise to that potential if the private sector, the public sector, the famous colloquium word that we hear time and again, the PPP model becomes a reality. But that sincerely is a must. The government is doing a lot. In 2006, the NEGP program was instituted, looking at 27 MMPs, Mission More projects, covering 23,000 crores of rupees in terms of capital expenditure. The plan was, the scheme envisages ensuring that we have 100,000 common service centers across each and every village of this country. States are connected by SWANs, statewide area networks. There is a housing center for data storage center and SDC in every single state. And all these networks, these WANs and LANs as we call it, are interconnected by a national grid. That will provide that seamless connectivity. Whether the last mile solution is through broadband, initial connectivity is through copper wire or through OFC. But this will provide the network, the seamless network that will allow entrepreneurism at the grassroots level to flower. The program of my erstwhile department of connecting 100,000 CSCs is very much akin to Rajiv Gandhiji's initial dream of using the PCO and the STD call box not only as a means of communication, but as a means of providing livelihood to hundreds and thousands of people across the length and breadth of our country. Which is why it was envisaged in this program that the 100,000 CSCs will be conducted by private citizens across the length and breadth of every single state. What I have learned in my past department as part of the MMP program, I've tried to extend to my new department. There's no point having experiences and learnings in life if one cannot utilize them efficiently and productively. And therefore, in the last 2.5 years in the Industry and Commerce Department, which is the hat that I wear now, we've tried to ensure that we lower transaction costs, we improve accountability, we have greater transparency in place across the vertical and the horizontal paradigm. Across the vertical paradigm in terms of connecting my stakeholders, we are instituting a new portal called eBiz, where every single permission from the ward level up till the central government for any entrepreneur that wants to start a business will be housed on that one particular website. Cutting out latencies, cutting out multiplicities, cutting out the biggest C word that is topical today, corruption. And putting in place very strict KPIs, key performance indicators, for every single approval process in terms of when it needs to be given to the person who's applying. We are starting with a pilot in Andhra Pradesh, 8 central services, 28 state-specific services, 36 services housed in all. That pilot will be inaugurated by January next year, and following successful culmination of that pilot, we plan to roll it out across each and every state across the length and breadth of India. Similarly, across the horizontal paradigm, ensuring that we get all our stakeholders onto a single platform for exports, for imports, for trade, whether it's the Airports Authority, Container Corporation of India, the Exim Banks, the DGFT, Customs, Excise, any agency that has anything to do from the point of X factory to FOB will be housed on a single portal called eTrade, where every single permission for every exporter will be given in a matter of a couple of days at best. This sector, as I said, is instrumental in the ability to change lives. In terms of improving access for people, the eChaupal initiative that we've seen, which has been launched across the length and breadth of the country. I'm told we have delegates here from many international countries. What Philippines has very successfully done with mobile banking, connecting 3.5 million people on that network and transacting close to about $200 million per year in terms of billing cycles, in terms of every single banking transaction that conceivably can be possible. Also in terms of provision of services. I remember that when I was in the telecom and IT department, all of us hear about many issues with the payments related to the Rural Employment Guarantee Program. And because the Postal Department and the IT department are housed under a single roof, what we envisage together was using the postal department as a delivery pipe through IT for the services for the NREG. And therefore, in 5 pilot districts in Orissa, we armed our postman, our Dak Sevak, with a handheld device which had a software which could read biometric cards that had been given out to NREG workers, with a software, a voice-activated software that would ask every single client whether he wanted to deposit or withdraw cash. That would be done electronically, and the postman, once he returned to his postal office, would insert the handheld device into a docking station, which would then directly uplink and completely activate and upload the NIC website as well as the collector's website in that particular district, thereby instantaneously delivering cash into postal savings banks accounts, cutting out corruption, cutting out multiplicity. I was just asking Mr. Chandrasekhar as to how well that program is doing. If I was still there, I would have ensured that it would be instituted in the length and breadth of the country by now, as I had done with Project Arrow in the Department of Posts in terms of modernization. But I hope it does gain traction and gain speed, because these are the sort of small experiments which, if yield tremendous results, need to be multiplied with greater veracity and greater alacrity. I also believe that this is a technology that will help us involve all stakeholders in terms of taking our agenda forward as a government, whether you're a state government or a central government, and allow for many, many more views to emerge. For example, in Chennai, there's a website that's up that's called Fix Our City, where every single voter, every single stakeholder gives her or his opinion in terms of what needs to be done. I think the greater involvement we have of every citizen of this country, the more better we will be armed to be able to serve the millions of people across the length and breadth of our country. I was very happy today to note people from the private sector who've been awarded, people from the public sector who've been awarded, people from PSUs that have been awarded. You are the champions of the new India that's emerging. You are the beacons of hope in many, many ways. So today is a celebration of your effort. Today is a celebration of your achievement. And India stands proud because there are millions like yourselves that are making lives of people in our country much more enjoyable to live in the longer term. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much for having me here today.
Resuming our award distribution ceremony, I would request Shri R. Chandrasekhar ji to please give away the next series of awards. The next award in the initiative in electronic delivery of services, the Public Choice Award goes to the e-registration project E-Dharani, implemented by the Orissa E-Governance Services Limited. The Jury Choice Award in this category goes to the e-housing project implemented by the Center for Development of Imaging Technology, Kerala.